If you find yourself changing your haircutting system every time a different hair texture or a different type of fade sits in your chair, this is going to be a video that helps you a lot, because I'm going to be showing you a haircutting system that you can use on multiple different hair textures and multiple different fade styles, guys. This is going to work for high fades, low fades, tapers. It's a universal system. Now, you always want to start with the top, whether it's a scissor style or whatever you're going to be doing on top. But in this case, my client needs a nice short haircut because his hair is thinning on top, and we're going to trim it to where it looks all even. Really with this, it's nothing crazy. Just the secret is the hair that grows thick, you want to trim it down short. And the hair that grows thinner, you want to leave just a little bit extra length in there, so it kind of creates that illusion that everything is even, when in reality it's not, guys. So you're always going to want to do this cutting against the grain. You can see I'm picking out the little points where the hair grows thicker, right? So that way we can make it all look lower and even. But yeah, we're going to keep on evening out this top. And if you're new to the channel, guys, welcome. My name is Tito, and I make well over 6 figures in the barber industry, guys. And I don't do anything fancy. I literally just cut hair, and I record it so I can teach you how to do the same. Efficient haircutting is really the thing that helped me take my business over the next level, right? So that's what I'm going to be breaking down for you today, man. And yeah, let's get right into it. If you guys like the tools we're using in today's video, you can also check them out in the tag product section below, if you not only want to use my haircutting system, but you want to use my tools as well. So let's lock in and let's get right into this cut. Let's not waste any time. So the first things first, guys, with the bald line, the initial start of this haircut, you're gonna wanna start this with the clipper all the way closed. A lot of YouTubers are gonna teach you that you wanna start your fades with the trimmers because it's gonna give you a super sharp, super precise line, and neat guidelines, pretty much set you up for success. And that's not necessarily bad information, but it is more difficult to fade out a trimmer line. Remember, these things are set so that way we could put sharp edges on people's haircuts, not necessarily to give a soft blend. So I'm always going to start my fades with the clipper all the way closed. And in this case, this is a really high fade, so that's why I'm going all the way up with it. But this system is going to work if you want to do a mid or a low. Just place that initial guideline where you want your fade to end. But yeah, go ahead and start right here. Your primary guideline will be with the clipper closed, where you want the bald part of the fade to be. So the top is already cut pretty short, right? We use the one guard at the very top. So in this case, it's gonna be super easy to be able to start removing a little bit of the bulk on the side, so that way we can go ahead and knock out this fading line. Typically, my secondary guideline will be with the half guard all the way closed, so you can give your space to go ahead and blend. But in this case, you can really take that half guard pretty high up. This is going to be a very high blend, and you can see here, man, we cleared that out, and now we can just jump straight into fading. One big thing for me, guys, was I was so afraid of taking the fade too high, and then, like in this case, the high fade would end up being a south side fade, right? But remember that if you start with the clipper all the way closed, yes, like mentally you have to prepare. You are going to be going higher and higher in the fade, but at the same time, notice how every time I go a little higher, I'm opening the lever on the side of the clipper a little bit more. So as you go higher, the hair is going to get longer, and eventually it's going to blend perfectly into the work that you've already done, the hair that you've already cut. So that's why you start with the clipper closed at the very bottom, and little by little just start notching your way up higher and higher. The more you open up the lever, the higher you're going into the fade. And you're going to want to do this process all the way around, and it'll take a little bit of detailing, just to make sure that you get everything right. But just mentally prepare yourself for that. Like, yes, there is a fear of going too high, but the higher you go, the more you're going to open your lever. So hopefully that calms your anxiety. Leave a comment down below if this is something that you feel like you struggled with earlier on in your career. Zeno is definitely something that stopped me from really getting my fades blurry, like to that next level. I was afraid to remove hair, but it's like you have to get over that. So that's why I want to teach you that up front now. Just that's the best way to approach these blends. And then also just understand too, guys, if you get to that top point where, right, your lever's already all the way open and it's just not blending right into the length you cut up on top, you still have other guards that you can rely on to further blend it out. Like you'll see here, we're gonna hit a certain point in this haircut where we start doing extra detailing. I might take the half guard and work with that line a little bit more. But it's just a matter of getting through the steps that you know you need to do, right? Lay the whole foundation of the haircut. And if you can do that efficiently, you'll have enough extra time to be able to get all the detailing done, right? To get your haircut to that next level. So yeah, definitely, guys, push through this, and you can get it done pretty efficiently. The balding out technique is also another thing that I think you're gonna enjoy a lot. Once we finish up with this part of the blend, it's gonna come together really, really nice. So a lot of people do comment and they ask the question, why do barbers leave all that bulk at the bottom of the hair? A lot of them say that it's distracting to them, or it looks unprofessional, or whatever the case is, right? You either love it or you hate it. It's very few in between. But for me, the truth is that it helps me concentrate. Like if you notice here, I'm going upside down with this trimmer so I can create a super clean separation of what is gonna be 100% bald from there down. Everything above that is what I really have to concentrate my efforts on. Like there's very little to no effort in balding out and leaving something completely like baby skin smooth, right? If I can just leave that kind of all that bulk at the very bottom and just concentrate 100% on my efforts on everything north of this bald line, that's what allows me to give the blend my full effort and really just concentrate and make sure that the whole gradients, like everything is looking really on point. That is what helps me concentrate and keep my blends blurry. Now I know for some people they don't want that, they like to have the whole side balded out. If I bald it out first, personally now my eyes are distracted and I'm focusing on everything from the very top of the head all the way to the very bottom. But there's no need for that for me personally, right? Like if I could just focus on this little headband area of the blend, make sure that that's on point, I already know everything below that is gonna be 100% bald, like shavered down to the skin, no stubbles left. So maybe that's something that could help you too. Like I used to sometimes stretch my blends out a little too much to where there's not even really a bald part, it's just like clipper length. This kind of helps me really define that and make sure that I actually have a truly bald portion on my bald fades. And that's where this next part comes in, where I started by this whole balding process by putting my trimmer upside down, and you're gonna see right here the reason why. The way that I balded out this fade is gonna make it to where you have absolutely no question how high you need to go with your shaver. If you notice, you see that faint line that was left right there where I was going upside down with the trimmer. This is giving me 100% clarity as to how high I need to go with my shaver. I used to have a fear at one point about, going too high with the shaver. Oh, now I'm gonna go ahead and interrupt the whole blend, right? If I don't do that until the very last step, then I don't have to worry about it at all. I want to show you guys here too, like how well these trimmers can feed through the hair. But yeah, man, look, if you could see that very faint line, I use that to my advantage. So that way, I know exactly how high I need to go up on my foil shaver. So let's watch the rest of this hair come off here. This is a super satisfying part of the haircut, and we're gonna follow up with the foil shaver, man. So comment down below if you've ever messed up your fade because you took the shaver way too high. And leave a comment down below if you think this is something that could help you avoid that issue in the future. So this is the part right here, guys. Look, I'm gonna take this double foil shaver and I can run right up to and through that line. Let me take it right up to there. That's the thing, this makes it like you're coloring within the lines. Literally, like you create a line and you say, no, this is the border. I don't go past this point with the shaver. And it's something that helped me so much to be able to keep concentrated, like just concentrate on where I truly bald out. And when I get to the very top of that, you can see here, this down with the grain, smoothing it out, helps remove any remnants that may be left. It makes it so much easier, so much smoother. I hope that's a valuable piece of information that helps you. Like I said, I just try to give you guys the gems that I needed when I was a young barber, before I was really able to be efficient and just take control of my career. But yeah, man, these are all things that help me kind of stay on time. I literally used to take an hour and a half, sometimes 2 hours to do a haircut. That's just not the case anymore because I've learned all these little tips and tricks. And then efficient haircutting, that's only one part of the system, right? Because being able to do a haircut in a good 20, 30 minutes, that's cool, but what's the point of doing that if you don't even have somebody to fill the next slot with, right? You may as well take an hour a haircut if you only have, 4 or 5 haircuts a day to do. But when I joined the Six Figure Barber Mentorship, that is what helped me learn how to do the marketing skills to be able to fill my schedule and get booked not only up, but get booked out a week and a half, 2 weeks out. So now I can really take advantage of being efficient as a barber. Like I probably joined the program 2 years ago. I think it was like maybe late 2022, early 2023. But it took me a minute before I really fully committed and actually started listening, kind of putting my pride down and changing a few things. I left a suite, I went to a barbershop. I started looking at I stopped treating customers based on how they tipped me. It's crazy. Like I used to only give good customer service to my best tippers, but I learned the value of like, how can you make a customer that doesn't tip you? How can you make them just as valuable as the ones that do? Little stuff like that. So that helped me a whole lot, man. And it really helped me bring my income up. I was stuck under 7K every single month. It helped me get up to now. Sometimes I'll hit 12, 13 in a month, and it's so cool too, because I don't feel like I'm killing myself anymore. You know what I mean? So if you guys can relate to any of that, let me know. Because I'm actually a coach in that program now. The link is always going to be in the description below for you guys, man. If you ever want to get into the Six Figure Barber Mentorship and you want me to help coach you, you want Basio to help coach you, and Nate and AJ, we have a couple other coaches there in the mentorship. So let me know, man. I would love to help you guys get your careers well over 6 figures, man. There's no reason any of us should be making less than that at this point, man, with all the information out there. So look at this, guys. Now this is the detailing portion I was telling you about. You get through the main steps of your blend efficiently. Now you can take some time and start picking at the little spots here, man. You see little dark spots, you can go ahead and attack it. Anytime you see a dark spot, I would recommend you start with your lever open and then little by little. If that doesn't do it, then hit it halfway, then hit it close. Yeah, that's a safe approach. For lining up too, guys, I used to start all the way in the left corner and go all the way to the right corner and try to continue my lineup like in one smooth continuous motion. But my lines would always come out super crooked, right? I'm still not perfect. Don't get me wrong. I'm still not the perfect barber. I don't get perfectly even, perfectly straight lines every single time. I try my best. But I've noticed that if you start in the middle and then you attack one corner, you can just concentrate on that little half of the lineup, get it nice and crispy, looking how you want. Make sure you don't push anything too far back. And then that'll allow you to step back, analyze it. Now you can return to the center and attack the opposite corner. And now from there, now you can make small tweaks to go balancing out the full lineup, a little bit on the left, a little bit on the right. And before you know it, you have a smooth lineup that is well balanced. It shapes the client's head. So try that too, guys. Break the lineup into 2 smaller jobs. Instead of just doing like all the way across, try starting in the middle and attack the left. Then return to the middle and attack the right. And then you can adjust accordingly. But it's really, I don't know, man. I feel like lining up, man, truly was a psychological thing. Once I understood the principles of, okay, break it down into 2 smaller jobs and then I can go evening it out. Every time you make a cut, like you make a nice defined part of the lineup, step back. You notice how I step back, turn his head towards me, and I analyze it? You see me doing that over and over again. Just once you make that psychological switch, lining up becomes so much easier. And here now I'm taking the Zoom 45 razor. Did you guys notice how easy it was to load that blade? A lot of people talk about Turkish razors are nice, but they slow me down. That's just not true. Like, it literally took me 5 seconds, 3 seconds maybe, to put that blade in. I'm gonna have that also in the tag products down below, because I love how the blade has an appropriate amount of weight, like the blade holder, but at the same time it's super thin, so it allows me to hit that next level of precision. Let me know too what you guys think about this POV angle, man. Like I've had a great time filming with it. If you want me to do a breakdown on how I do this type of content, also leave it down in the comment section below. I think I've seen a person or two request that, but it's been a lot of fun doing that, man. Guys, I hope that you were to pick up some value with this. Leave a comment down below if you feel like this is going to help you have more confidence going into your next haircut, because like I said, these steps, man, is not only for high fades like this video, but you can do it for mids, you can do it for lows, for drops. And this is the finished product, guys. You want to make sure the lineup not only looks good from this angle, but also from this angle. That's another gem for you guys, man. Let me know what you thought about this tutorial down below in the comment section. Thank you guys so much for subscribing. Don't forget to check the tag products if you want not only my steps, but also my tools, and I'll see you in the next video.